weeks and then move on to something else. But
Yeah, I do that quite a bit actually. So
yeah,
alrighty, I will.
every few weeks I just find something else.
Yep. Okay, I'll transition over and start. I think. Welcome to the Commentary Booth, your weekly entertainment recap boosh. I'm your host and play-by-play commentator, Jamie Apps. Each week I'll be joined by a special guest, co-host, and rotating cast of colour commentators. We provide you analysis and reaction to the movies and TV shows that we've watched during the week. Hopefully with our help and our reviews, you'll be able to find your next viewing treat. This week, I'm joined by an Australian wrestler who is also a self-confessed horror and Marvel geek. In this line, she lists her favourite movies,
Yes.
2017 It, and her favourite TV show as Supernatural. Welcome to the show, Tarlee.
Hello, thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
No problem, great to have you. How is life at the moment? So did you just start a new job?
I did, yeah. So I actually started a new job at another gym. So I'm a group fitness instructor, and I just started a new job on Tuesday. So that's exciting.
Very exciting, congratulations.
Thank you.
And obviously the big sort of thing in the Marvel space is Black Widow and Loki. Have you had a chance to check them out?
Yes, I watched Black Widow last night actually, so it's very fresh in my mind. A lot to talk about. And I'm very excited to actually talk about Loki to someone other than my boyfriend, who's probably sick of me talking about it by now.
Did you go to the cinema for Loki or at home?
For Loki, for Black Widow.
Loki, Black Widow, sorry.
Yeah, I went to the cinema for Black Widow. Yes.
How was the
I don't know if you can see, but I collect popcorn tins, so I need to go to the movies to get the popcorn tins for things.
Yep, that'll do it. How was the cinema experience?
Yep. It was really good actually. We went to not late night, it was like 8:30 at night, but that's kind of late for me. But it was pretty good. It was when the Marvel the Marvel logo at the start of the movie started playing, it just warmed my heart a little bit. Like, it's been over a year since that's played in the cinema, and I was just like, oh, this is so beautiful.
Yeah, it has been a long time between Marvel cinema releases.
Yes.
The joys of the pandemic.
Yeah, the last thing we saw from Marvel in the cinema was Spider-Man, I believe.
Yeah, wow. That does feel like a very long time ago.
A long time ago. Yep.
And was the cinema full or close to full?
It wasn't that full actually. Like it was like 8:30 at night, but I know maybe everyone in Newcastle is just really tired all the time. It wasn't that full actually. It could be like the new pandemic scare or whatever, stopping people from going to the cinemas, but it was fine. I don't mind when the cinema is pretty quiet because then that means no one's talking throughout it.
Yeah, that's been my big takeaway from the cinema decline during this lockdown period. It's been nice to go to the cinema and just basically have the whole thing to yourself.
It's so good. You walk in with your popcorn tin and your drink and you see no one in the crowd and you're like, oh, this is amazing. This is everything that I want.
Yep. And what did you think of the movie itself?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm not going to lie, I didn't really go... I mean, I go into a Marvel movie knowing I'm going to like it, but I didn't go into this one with very high hopes, and I don't know whether that was just because of the constant delays in it, and maybe they would change things, and the confusion between when it was set in this MCU, because obviously she's dead as far as we know, so it just felt like a very rushed movie to me. When like before I watched it, I thought it was going to be very rushed and wasn't going to make a lot of sense. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Not going to lie, like I walked out of that cinema and I was like, that was a fucking good movie. Like that was a solid movie.
Yeah, I was the same. I sort of wasn't going in there with overly high expectations for it. It feels like it should have been earlier in the whole MCU release.
Yeah.
Like it seems to have come way too late.
Yes. Way too late. Like she's been in the movies since what, Iron Man 2, which was, I don't know what year that came out. I'm very bad at years, but whenever that came out, and she gets a movie after she's dead. I'm like, didn't seem like the right time to do that.
Yeah, let's finally give her character some background and backstory, and a reason to be invested in her after
when we're not going to see her again.
Very strange choice.
Yeah.
And then
yes,
like you mentioned, just working out where it was in the timeline as well, that was also very strange.
Yeah. Like, I heard a lot of theories about when it was set, and like people saying it was set between this movie and that movie, but then this movie and that movie, and I'm like, I don't really know what the fuck's going on. I heard theories as well going into it that like it was going to be set halfway, like it was going to be set before Endgame, but little bit of it was going to be set after Endgame as well. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on right now. Like, went in with like no idea what I was going to watch other than just a Black Widow movie. But it was a very good Black Widow movie.
Yep. Yeah, I watched it at home, so I didn't get the full cinema experience. But after watching it, it sort of seems like it's set after Civil War, but before Infinity War.
Yes. They talk a lot about her and Steve Rogers being on the run, and you're like, okay, they get that out of the way pretty early. Like they're on the run, so you're like, okay, cool. They're obviously set post Civil War. Easy, I can do that. Obviously, it's set before the blip because everyone's still there. So you're like, all right, cool. So it's obviously set between Civil War and Infinity War. Also, let's go.
And yeah, like we said, it's nice to finally see the backstory for her, though. Like, really, up until then, she was just
yes. My big thing is, yeah, like you didn't really. You heard a lot about like the Red Room and like the blood in her ledger and all this stuff. You're like, they never really dove into it. You were just kind of left to put the pieces together. I think one of the biggest things was like that throwaway line in Avengers where they're like, oh, this is just like Budapest all over again. And the fandom are like, just took that one line and were like, what happened in Budapest? And I guess we finally got an answer.
Were you a big comic reader?
Not really. So with me and like Marvel and everything, The Avengers was actually the first ever Marvel movie that I watched. I didn't see Iron Man or Captain America or Hulk or anything like that before The Avengers. I wasn't into it. I think The Avengers was just on TV one day and I just put it on and I was like, this is actually really cool. I want to go back and watch all this. And so I learned a lot about stuff from a movie that like when it's about to come out. So like, for example, Shang-Chi's coming out. I didn't really know who that was, but when I saw they were making a movie, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go and look it up and find out more about him. So I look into the comic book stuff once I know about a movie that's coming out, if that makes sense.
Yep. Yeah, I think obviously if we'd been bigger comic fans, we probably would have known a lot more of those Easter eggs that they've been planting for the show, but this movie did a good job of explaining it to people that have no idea, so I was happy with that.
Yeah, I really, really liked it. Like, I'm a huge fan of David Harbour and Florence Pugh as well, so getting to see them in a Marvel movie, they were amazing. And Florence Pugh was amazing, honestly.
Yeah, it feels like sort of every big name actor at this point has been in a Marvel movie.
Oh, yeah.
Attached to a future one.
They got to be in a Marvel movie. They were freaking Rachel Wise. I was like, all right, sure, no worries.
You're not a big name Hollywood celebrity until you've been in a Marvel movie, apparently.
So you've been in a Marvel movie. Yeah, you see all these like reports of celebrities being like, oh, I want to be in a Marvel movie. It's like, of course you do. Everyone wants to be in a Marvel movie.
It's like back in the day when like Star Wars was the big thing. Everybody wanted to be in a Star Wars movie, and now it's switched over.
Yeah.
Disney with the two big.
I mean, I want to be in a Marvel movie, so.
Oh, they're all filming now in Australia, so there's a fair chance.
I know. I remember they announced that Loki was filming. I think I like tweeted Marvel directly. I was like, "Hey guys, if you need a female Loki, I'm available." Obviously, didn't get the part.
Yeah, that sucks. With this Black Widow, did you like how they did the? It's sort of a different genre than any previous Marvel movie or show.
Yeah, like especially at the very start when they have that the Nirvana cover and they're showing all those clips of like the girls training and everything. Like it just, I even said to my boyfriend at the time, I'm like, this feels like a episode of like Law and Order or something. It feels like really dark and gritty and like this feels like they're going into something that I'm not really like prepared for. But honestly, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like it was a good shock for me because, like I said, I didn't have high expectations. And being proven wrong is always nice. But yeah, I really, really liked it.
Yeah, it felt like for me, it felt like a James Bond or a Jason Bourne type movie where it was spy thriller type thing, and I think that sort of goes on with what they've been doing with the Disney Plus shows where they're exploring genre. They're not just sticking to here's the tried and true Marvel system that we use.
Obviously, WandaVision's a big one for that, of them trying different genres to see what works.
And even Loki, like they're very, very sci-fi with Loki at the moment as well.
Yes, 100%. I think my only thing with Black Widow, like, obviously I thoroughly enjoyed it. My one bit that I walked out of the cinema thinking was that David Harbour's character was just purely comic relief. Really, he didn't really do much when you think about it. He was just the guy that cracked the wise jokes, which you don't need, but a lot of Marvel movies just have the comic relief character, and that's fine. But I just felt like they kind of missed out on an opportunity with Red Guardian in this movie, but hopefully he comes back and sticks around and does something else, but that was probably like my one little bit of criticism.
Yeah, it felt like the movie could have done with just Black Widow and her sister. Like it didn't need the rest of the family, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, it was a good dynamic. Then like I said, I love David Harbour. I'm glad he was in it. I just kind of wish he got a chance to do more.
Yep. Yeah, hopefully maybe with what the post-credit scene sets up, he'll be back for the
Yeah. Yes.
What did you think?
Yeah.
What did you think of the?
I know. I'm like curious as to what that's gonna happen. Like,
Sorry. What did you think of the
sorry.
post-credit scene?
Yeah, I was. That's where I was going with that too. Like, I'm curious to what they're gonna do. Like, I'm guessing it's leading into Hawkeye's TV series with how that went. But yeah, I obviously have no idea because I'm like, when I forget her name, the chick from Seinfeld that was in Falcon and Winter Soldier, forget her character's name. Whatever her name was.
It's Julia.
Yeah, just like a weird name.
But I don't
Anyway,
know
whenever
her
she,
character name.
yeah. Everyone watching is going to be like, yeah, this is her name, you idiots.
Yep.
When she came on, because I got the vibes from Falcon and Winter Soldier that she was like she's forming the Thunderbolts, which is obviously under Thunderbolt Ross. And then when she brings in Yelena, I was like, okay, so is Yelena joining the Thunderbolts now? Because I thought she was going to go be like the new Black Widow. So I don't really know what's going on. I guess we'll find out in the Hawkeye series.
Yeah, I'm sort of thinking that what they do is they have the Hawkeye series. Hawkeye's the main character, and then Julia's team ends up being the bad guys, but then at the end, Yelena realizes that Hawkeye didn't kill Black Widow.
Yeah.
Switches sides.
Kill her. Yeah, like I'm very glad that we're seeing more of Yelena. She was amazing. She was a really good character, I think, and I'm glad that she's sticking around. Obviously, they're bringing in all these new characters. Like, a lot of people are thinking that they're forming up to the Young Avengers. When you think about it, like, you've got Yelena coming in, you've got Ginny and Tommy. Not Ginny and Tommy, Billy and Tommy from WandaVision. All these new, like, younger characters are coming into it. So you're like, okay, they might be leading to the Young Avengers. They're leading towards the Thunderbolts. They're obviously putting all these teams together. They're brewing something.
Oh, it's definitely they're building up to, I think, setting a new course, and here's the new team that we're going to follow for the next, how long has MCU been going? A decade or so?
Yeah, for the next fucking 30 years.
It's, especially with Disney's backing now, it's an unstoppable force.
Yeah, they're going to go forever. I'll be 61 still watching Marvel movies at this rate.
You'll be drowning in the minifigures.
Yeah. Be watching Tom Hiddleston whilst he's 82 playing Loki.
Yeah. So on to Loki. Tom Hiddleston's back. Were you surprised that he came back for the
I'm so
TV
happy.
series?
I was surprised when they announced it. So going into Infinity War, I knew that they were going to kill him off. Like, I went in prepared for that. I'm like, you've got to introduce Thanos, who's the new big bad. In order to do that, you've got to kill off the old big bad, which was Loki. So I knew that they were going to kill off Loki. I was prepared for that. And I was like, yeah. I said my goodbyes, accepted my fate, and was like, okay, see you, Tom Hiddleston, thanks for everything. And then he popped up in Endgame, and I was like, oh no. I just got over this. They brought him back, and then they're like, oh cool, we're going to have a Loki show now. I was like, oh no. Obviously, I was over the moon and very ecstatic about it. But I was very surprised they announced it, because I was like, what are they going to do? He's dead. It was the same vibes I got with Black Widow when they're like, oh, we're going to do a Black Widow movie. I'm like, but she's dead. And I obviously went into the show not really knowing what the hell was going to go on, because, like I said, he's dead. But it's honestly a really good TV show. They're killing it.
Yeah, we're, 5 episodes into the series of 6?
Yes. Yes, one more to go.
How are you sort of dealing with all the, obviously it's being one of your favourite characters, him and all the variants and everything, keeping it all in line so you know...
It's so good. It's so good, my heart. I've pre-ordered every pop model that they've announced for every Loki variant. What am I going with this? Honestly, it was just the best. When they brought in Sylvie, I was like, oh, cool, because my main theory was that they were going to be hunting down female Loki, and I'm kind of glad that I got that right. So when they brought in Sylvie, I was like, oh, hell yeah, she's a badass, she's amazing. Tom Hiddleston's amazing. Owen Wilson is amazing. I've made a tweet about it that before Tom Hiddleston, Owen Wilson was like was my crush. Was in love with Owen Wilson, and then Tom Hiddleston came in, and then he overtook. And I just seen both of them in the same show. I was like,
is this like the perfect show for you then?
Oh, honestly, it really is. Like, every time that they're on screen together, especially the last episode, the hug between Loki and Mobius, my heart just, like, grew 3 times the size. Like, I was so happy.
And, yeah, you mentioned sort of the female Loki. So we've got Loki, Sylvie, Mobius, they're the main sort of characters. Where do you see them going in this final episode?
I have no idea. So I've got a few theories. So, like, based on trailer footage that hasn't been in the show yet, so like stuff they've shown the trailers that haven't been in an episode yet, Loki ends up, I don't know if this is a spoiler for anyone, I didn't really know, but if it is, spoiler, Loki ends up back at the TVA. There's like a shot of him still in the TVA. So that's obviously going to be in the next episode. So we know that he goes back to the TVA. We know Mobius is still back at the TVA. So I'm guessing they're going to have like another little team up. I honestly thought in episode 4 when they pruned Loki before the end credit scene, I 100% thought that was it. I thought they killed off Tom Hiddleston like 2 episodes before like the finale. I thought that was it. And I'm like, what a twist, what a shock. Like, I thought they were going to just carry on with what we were saying before, with all these new characters coming in, like Yelena and all that. I thought Sylvie was going to be like the new Loki going forward. Like, she would take over the mantle and go and do all that stuff. And which I honestly wouldn't be mad about. Like, I'd be sad to see Tom Hiddleston go. But if they replace him with Sylvie going forward, like, that would be a pretty cool little twist. Because she's obviously Loki, but not Loki. So obviously, sorry, I kind of went on a rant there. But yeah, so Loki ends up back at the PBS. I'm guessing Loki and Mobius will team up. I don't really know what they're going to do with Sylvie at this point. I honestly don't really know what they're going to do with Sylvie, whether she'll stick around or whether she won't stick around. I believe that they've announced a season 2, though, that they've said that they are going to film a Loki season 2.
Yeah, they have said season 2 is in.
Maybe with Sylvie, maybe Tom Hiddleston. Yeah, but I don't think they've announced like which Loki it is.
No, I think they've just said there will be a season 2, and that's about all they've confirmed at the moment.
Yeah. So they're leaving up in the air whether it is Tom Hiddleston or whether it's Sylvie. It could be Kid Loki. Who knows?
Do you think we get to see Mobius on a jet ski in the final episode?
Oh my god, I hope so. I want the episode to end and then there'll be like a post-credit scene of like Loki chilling on a beach, like enjoying his life. Maybe Sylvie's there too, maybe Kid Loki and Alligator Loki are playing in the water or whatever. And then like just a jet ski goes past and Mobius is on his jet ski. Like they've built up this jet ski so much. You have to show us Mobius on a jet ski now.
Yep. And who do you think is the sort of big bad of the series?
My number one theory going into it, and still now I'm going by it, I think it's Kang. They've had a lot of hints towards Kang the Conqueror being the big bad, and I still think it might be him. But then again, I thought Mephisto was going to be the big bad in WandaVision, and obviously that didn't turn out to be right. But I do believe it's Kang. They're building up to it. Like, they announced Kang's going to be in Quantum Mania, which is coming up, so they've got to kind of build into, like, lead into that. They've got a lot of hidden stuff as well. Like, I watch a lot of breakdown videos for the episodes. And in the last episode, especially in the dimension that all Loki variants were in, there was a lot of hints towards Kang. They had, like, a big building that had, like, which was Kang's building. In Kang's little Chronopolis world, he's got like the Sphinx and all that, which is obviously where Mobius was driving through. So they're dropping all these hints for Kang, and I think it'd be a bit of a weird thing if it doesn't end up being him, considering all the effort they put into this. But I'm going with Kang.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think that's where they have to go. If it feels like this show is the one that's leading most into a movie. Yes,
because there's not really any TV show coming out soon. Like, WandaVision obviously was going to be immediately followed by Falcon and Winter Soldier, which was immediately followed by Loki, but Loki's going to have like a bit of a gap between the next one, so
unless they slot that Hawkeye show in somewhere, but I guess with Shang-Chi.
Yeah. But I've heard theories as well that people think the big bad's going to be like another Loki variant, like a big Loki variant might be the big bad, which I don't really think that would be. I don't really think that's it. I think that would be a bit of a letdown, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think that would make a lot of sense. We sort of had the bad Loki in the previous episode, so I think that's far enough.
We've seen it already. Yeah.
And what did you think of the show confirming Loki as gender fluid and bisexual? Do you think that was a big move on?
I thought that was. Yes. I think it was a big step forward. I've been pretty torn about it since. So when they announced it, and like especially the episode that he confirmed he was bisexual, that was a big thing for a lot of people. Like that's their first. I'm blanking on a word. Like their first time in a Marvel movie that someone has identified with them for all the bisexual and gender fluid people. So that was a really big step forward. I do feel though, and I'm not bisexual and I'm not gender fluid, so I don't know how how bisexual and gender fluid people feel. But personally, if they're going towards the direction of Loki and Sylvie being romantically involved, it does feel a bit, like, I don't know, it feels, they're like, oh, we're gonna say Loki's bisexual, and we're gonna say he's gender fluid so people are happy. But then we're still going to put him in a relationship we're just going to put him in a heterosexual relationship anyway, because we're Disney and we can't have the gays.
Yeah, it feels a little bit totally.
It just feels a little, Yeah. So I really hope they don't put Loki and Sylvie together. I honestly want him with Mobius just because why not? But they put him with Sylvie. I don't know. I'm
Come on, Disney, just make all of Tarlee's dreams come true.
just make please, please. Like do the end credit scene with Mobius on a jet ski and just have Loki there and be like, oh, it's my boyfriend. That's it. That's all I need.
All right. Well, we'll see how that goes this week when it comes out. And then for me, on the knowing that you were a big sort of horror fan as well, I've been watching the Fear Street movies on Netflix the last couple of weeks. Have you had a chance to check those out?
Oh yeah, yes. I honestly haven't had a chance to check them out yet. They are on my list to watch. But are they good? Are they? I haven't really heard anything.
I thought they were really enjoyable. They're not overly scary, so they're not like the most terrifying horror movie I've watched, but they're fun watches. Like they're the fun, like, hey, it's Friday night, we're in lockdown. What are we going to watch? Let's watch these shows.
Yeah, put something on. Yeah. Oh, that's good. No, they're on my list of things to watch. Just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, so they're based on the R.L. Stine books. We've had 2 movies so far. The third one comes out this Friday. And the first one is set in 1994, and it really felt like a 90s slasher flick. So it very much plays on the...
Oh, I love a good slasher flick.
Like Scream, and the Halloween movies. It's got lots of sort of references to those.
Yeah. Good.
Heaps of like nostalgic 90s music as well. Just the whole time I was like, I love this song.
Oh, that's awesome. Yes. I love a good slasher movie.
Oh, so good. Like, they're pretty basic and generic and obvious what's going to happen, but they're very enjoyable.
They're pretty standard. Yes, you can't really mess it up.
Yep. And then the second one, which came out this Friday, was set in 1978, and again, lots of nostalgic 70s music. So obviously, I'm not that old, but you hear those songs like, oh, I know that song. That's a big song.
I know that song.
And then that one sort of played on the Friday the 13th aesthetic. So it's set in a campground. There's this terrifying guy running around with an axe just murdering people. So it's like they've done a really good job.
Nice. Classic.
Of picking those iconic movies from those eras and just playing on them and twisting them a little bit.
Yeah. Good. Oh, yeah, I'm going to check them out, definitely.
Some of the murder scenes are pretty full-on graphic, though.
Yes, good. I'm a sucker for a good, like, graphic death scene. I love it.
I think the 2 that stood out to me were, there's a couple of people get their heads either smashed in or chopped off with an axe in the second one. In the 1994 one, a person gets sliced into pieces through a bread slicer. So that one was intense.
Nice. Nice. I love this. Like, I love unique gory deaths too. Like, you can, like, I'm fine if you want to stab someone a bunch of times, you want to, like, cut their head off, that's cool. If you make a graphic, nice. If you shove someone in, like, a bread slicer or whatever, like, you make it cool and unique, I'm in. I'm sucking in. Love it.
Yep. Do you like the Saw movies on that front?
I love the Saw movies. Saw movies are probably, like, one of my favorite horror franchises. That's why one of my favorite horror franchises is Final Destination, purely because of the kills. Oh, yes. And, like, the unique ways that people die. Like, and that's it. Like, the story's pretty shit when you think about it, but, like, the way people die, I'm like, I mean, I don't even care about the acting or the story.
Yeah, last year I did a rewatch of all the Final Destinations. It was silly and fun. That's all.
Such a good time. Such a good time.
What are your other sort of favorite horror movies? Apart from It, obviously.
So, yes, It, obviously. I've got a massive Pennywise tattoo on my leg. You can see behind me, I've got a Chucky doll. So, Child's Play is a big favorite one of mine. The Thing is a classic. I feel like every horror movie nerd says The Thing, but you can't. It's really good. It's a really good movie. God, what else is there? Scream's a good one. Like Scream's another one of my favorites. I love American Psycho. I only just watched for the first time like a few months ago. Actually, I don't know why I waited so long to watch it, but that was a really good movie. Yeah, I don't know. I like a lot of the classics, really.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to the Scream reboot that's coming up?
Yes, very much so. I feel like Scream 1 is obviously a classic. Scream 2 and 3, I feel like are really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people really like, I know people that like them, and I'm sorry, but personally I don't really like them. Scream 4, I believe, kind of brought it back a little bit. It's not the best, but it brought it back. And I just feel like Scream 5, I just feel like doesn't need it, but like, I hope that they're on the same route as like Scream 1 and Scream 4 and keep it how that is, that whole storyline, and don't go the weird Scream 2, Scream 3 route. But Nev Campbell's coming back as well for that one, isn't she?
Yes. Yeah, I think they've said the majority of
Yes,
that Scream 1 cast is coming back for it.
yeah, nice, good. So I hope it's good. I'll be watching it regardless.
And what are you thinking about the upcoming Halloween 2?
Yes, Halloween's a weird one. Like Halloween's one of those movies or those series that I never know what movie is connected to what. I had to like go and research which Halloween this was connected to, because you've got like Halloween, Halloween 2, and then you got the weird Halloween 3 that's not really connected to anything. It's just kind of there. Then you got like goes up to like H2O, and then went on another route that wasn't connected to H2O, and then you got Rob Zombie's movies, and then these ones are connected. It's like everything's really weird and confusing in the Halloween universe. Halloween verse. So yeah, I had to go and research which one this was connected to, but I like the gritty look that it's got going. It gives me the same vibes as like the Rob Zombie Halloween films, which I quite enjoyed. But yeah, I'm like that. It gets confusing as to what it's connected to, but if it's Michael Myers, I'm in.
Yeah, I saw the most recent one and really enjoyed that, so I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm in for Halloween Kills. I'm all about it. And I love how the trailer that they put
If
out.
it's like the first one.
I love how the trailer that they put out just like follows immediately on from the movie. Like there's no weird time jump. It's just like, oh,
yeah, don't waste any time. Yeah. Love it. That's what you need.
And is there anything else that you've been watching that you wanted to chat about?
Oh, I mean, I can talk about the Mighty Boosh, but like I'm talking about the Mighty Boosh a fair bit right now. Everyone's probably telling me to shut the fuck up about the Mighty Boosh, but I am watching the Mighty Boosh right now, which is really good, everybody.
Is it a first-time watch?
It is, yes. So my boyfriend got me to watch it, and I went into it. The first 2 episodes, I went in watching them like this, because I just made up my mind that I was going to hate it, because I'm not a huge fan of like British comedy really, and so I already made up my mind that I was going to hate it. So I hated the first 2 episodes, and then I don't know when it was. I think one of the episodes, the Tundra episode, it got a genuine laugh out of me, and I was like, damn it! Like I could feel myself starting to enjoy it, and I was like, oh no. I was like, oh no. And then I honestly don't know at what point it started to take over my life, but it's taking over my life now. Sorry, the sun is like reflecting really bad. Yeah, it's taking over my life right now. I've watched the show. I watched their live show. I'm listening to their radio show. I'm just trying to find any content. This is like the bad thing that I've noticed about British comedy is that it's very short. So you get only like a few episodes and then it ends. And I don't want that. Like, Supernatural had 15 seasons. I had so much content for Supernatural. I had more content than I needed. But British comedy don't do that. I'm like, guys, just come on, just give me more. I need more.
So you're all in on the Mighty Boosh now?
I'm all in on Mighty Boosh. Like, I'm all in, guys. It took me, how long? Over a decade, because it ended in like 2007. But I'm in now. Better late than never.
Oh, at least there's plenty of other like UK comedy that you can go into once you get over the Mighty Boosh phase.
Yes, I think we're going to be watching the IT Crowd next because
Love IT.
watching Mighty Boosh got me like in love with Noel Fielding. Yeah, so I'm in love with Noel Fielding right now, and then everyone's like, "Oh, he's in the IT Crowd." I was like, "Oh, I guess I'll watch the IT Crowd." Then.
Yep. Yeah, IT Crowd's great. Black Books is another one I highly recommend as well.
Yes, I think that one's on the list. I've seen another good one that I did watch was Blackadder, which I didn't think I would like, but I quite liked Blackadder as well. So maybe I do like British comedy. I just don't want to admit it to myself.
Yep. Yeah, it sounds like you actually might be a British comedy fan.
I might actually like it.
Alrighty, I think that's pretty much everything for the week. What would be your top recommendation for people?
Ooh, like to watch out now or just in general? Out now, Black Widow. Go watch Black Widow. It's really good. And Mighty Boosh. But no, Black Widow. Go watch Black Widow. It's very, very good. It's a really, really good movie. You'll have a really good time. There's something in it for everyone. You've got like comedy, spy stuff, Marvel stuff. But yeah, Black Widow. It's a really, really good movie.
Yep. Alrighty, for me, it's the Fear Street movies. Like there's the third one out this week, so check those out.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, everyone.
I will check it out. Yes.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to the commentary booth.
Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. If you enjoyed the show, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe on podcast services and here on Twitch now. You can follow Tarlee on Twitter at Tarlee Official and Instagram at Starlee with 3 E's.
Yes, because Tarlee with 2 E's was taken.
Alrighty, thank you for coming on the show, Tarlee.
I know, so rude.
Go ahead and let our listeners know where's the best place for them to follow and support you other than those socials.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm very active on Instagram and Twitter. They're definitely like my main places. Go to Twitter if you want to hear me talk about Marvel movies or just movies in general. That's pretty much all I do there. Instagram, you can watch me do dry strips before I go to the gym, which everyone will like. It probably gets annoyed with by now. But yeah, Instagram and Twitter are definitely my 2 best places to get in contact.
Those dry strips.
I've got to do like a tutorial on how to do it.
They look painful every time.
I know, no one really understands how to do it.
I do like when
it just saves time, really. Yeah, no, people think you have to like Lauren, she think you gotta like just swallow powder. I'm like, no, you mix water in with it. Oh.
Just watching people choke trying to copy you.
It is quite funny, yes.
And you can follow me on social media at JamieAppsMedia and at Pario Magazine. We're now also on Discord, so people can come across there and chat about all their favourite movies, wrestling, TV shows with us there. And the Commentary Booth is a fan-funded production of Jamie Apps Media. You can support the podcast alongside our magazine, Pario Magazine, on Patreon at patreon.com/JamieAppsMedia. The following people supported at the community support level or higher, and you cannot fathom how incredibly appreciative we are for their support. Brian and June Hart, Courtney Paulson, Tracy Apps. Alrighty, perfect. That's everything. Let's end the stream.